Hey guys, one of the big reasons why the rich get richer and everybody else just plays catch up is because the rich understand where to invest their money for good returns. But above that, they understand how investing your money actually connects with time. Today I'm going to speak to you about a really important rule called the rule of 72 for investing your money. This is a really powerful rule because it demonstrates to you, for example, how long it takes for you to double your money. Okay, this is a particularly important rule, one that absolutely everybody should understand, whether you've got a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband or wife, or kids even. You can teach and talk about this rule and use it to your advantage. My name's Ken of the Humble Penny and Financial Joy Academy. What we do on this channel is give you the tips, the insights, the practical hacks to help you work towards a dream life of financial independence and money joy. I'm going to demonstrate to you with 4 different scenarios today how the rule of 72 could completely change your investing life. It will make you richer over time if you understand how to apply this rule and use it to your advantage. So let's dive in now. I'm going to just shoot across to the side of my room, jump onto my board and explain to you what is the rule of 72 and why it's so powerful for your investing. Okay, so I just want to now explain to you what this rule of 72 is and why it's particularly powerful. Okay, so this is our first scenario. And in this scenario, you've got 4 people with different levels of, call it, savings. Okay, so you've got somebody who's just got £1,000 all the way to some really rich guy or girl who's got £1 million, saved in a pot. Okay, now everybody gets the same level of returns. Let's say they all get 7% as their returns. Okay, so my question to you is how long would it take for each one of these people to actually double their money? Okay, so this is the scenario. So this person goes from here to 2,000, and the same with this person, 20k. They carry on like that, 200k and 2 million, right? How long would it take for each one of these people to double their money? Okay, you'd be surprised about this. This is where the rule of 72 comes in, because the rule of 72 says take the number 72 and divide that by the rate of return. Okay, and that's how long it would take for each person, irrespective of how much they've got invested, to actually then double their money. Okay, so when I talked about savings earlier, I'm talking about money saved and then invested in the right environment. Okay, so watch this, right? So 72 divided by 7 is 10.2. So it would take about 10 years. 10 years for each one of these people to double their money. This is where it gets really interesting, because you think to yourself, that's really interesting. But here's why it's even more interesting, because think about it. If you are somebody who only has £1,000 saved and invested, it will take you all of 10 years for your money to go from £1,000 to £2,000 at a 7% rate of return. Okay, now it's nice, you've doubled your money, that's great. Now think about this individual here, or even this individual. They've gone from £1 million in their portfolio all the way to £2 million, right? The same conditions. They've got their money, you've all got your money invested in the same environment, generating 7% return. Now, this is exactly why the rich get richer, right? Because a lot of rich people actually know where to invest their money to generate the right level of returns, okay? In addition, they also happen to have a lot of money put away such that that money just does all the work of doubling itself, in this example, every 10 years without any work being done. Okay, now let's move on to scenario 2, where I want to demonstrate to you the reason why it matters where you put your money. Okay, so in this second example, I just want to demonstrate to you why it really matters where you put your money. Okay, this really matters. So let's say you are the person who has £10,000 saved and you are investing that money. Okay, let's say, for example, you leave your money in your savings account generating 1% return at best. Okay, or you have it invested somewhere else, maybe in a fixed interest savings account where they're paying you maybe 3% return. And then let's say, for example, you have your money invested elsewhere, maybe in the stock market, alternatively, with more exposure to more risky assets, therefore generating a much higher average return. Okay, let's look at how long it will take to go from 10,000 to 20,000. Okay, how long it will take to double your money again. Okay, so in this scenario here where you're generating 1%, again, the rule of 72 comes in, because here again, we'll take the number 72 divided by each one of these numbers. Just leave out the percentages for a second. So in this example, it will be 72 divided by 1, which is 72 years. It will take 72 years for your 10 grand to become 20 grand if left in your bank account, generating 1% return. In this other scenario, it will take 72 divided by 3, it will take all of 24 years. 24 years to go from 10 grand to 20 grand if you left it generating 3% return. And this is even before we've talked about inflation, which will absolutely wipe those returns away, because inflation is the silent assassin, just eats away at all of our returns. Okay? Now, in the 7% scenario, it will take 72, and you've guessed it, divided by 7, it will take just over 10 years, 10.2 years to double your money. Okay? So you're starting to see why this is really important. Because you could have this scenario, and this is very real, where you've got your money sitting there in the bank account. You might have to fear. You're thinking to yourself, you've got security by leaving it in your savings account. But the truth is, you've got absolutely no security, because that money is being eroded by inflation. And worse still, if you're waiting for that money to grow, goodness me, it will take you 72 years. Okay? So let's now move on to this third scenario, where I want to demonstrate to you why it matters what level of return you're getting, i.e., these percentages, what difference an extra percent of return makes over a period of time. Let's look at scenario 3. So in scenario 3, we're now looking at the impact of a difference of 1% in the returns you're getting. So again, £10,000 going to £20,000. How long would it take to double our money at these two different levels of returns? Okay, so again, we take the numbers, 72 divided by 6. Here you've got yourself 12 years. Okay, you're seeing the same thing again. 72 divided by 7 this time. Here you've got yourself just over 10 years. So I want to just look at this, because this really matters. Because in this scenario here, you've got a difference of 2 whole years, just because you might have placed your money in a slightly different environment. The person here is doubling their money a lot quicker, and that carries on, because if they kept their money in that same environment, generating that same level of return, their money doubles again even quicker, and it carries on like that. Okay, so here I've just shown you how much 1 extra percent of return on your money actually matters, because this now leads us to the fourth scenario, where I'm going to make this even more real using an example that most people can relate to, one related to retirement. Okay, let's have a look at that right now. So in this final scenario, I just wanted to demonstrate to you a really practical example. You've got an individual here who is 38 years old. Okay, they'd love to get to a big goal in their lives at the age of 50, where they might have the option to retire early, or they might have achieved financial independence, or whatever, okay? But let's just say that they have a particular pot of money, and they would love to have doubled that pot of money in that period of 12 years, okay? So let's say they've got, I don't know, making this up, £150,000 as a pot right now, and they would love in 12 years to have double that money. Okay, what they want to know right now is what level of return do they need to generate on average, such that over that period of time of 12 years, that money would become 300,000. Okay, again, using this rule of 72, which is again a proxy that comes from the compounding interest formula, you would go 72 divided by the number 12, which means they would need on average a return of 6%. On average, a return of 6% in order for that money to become £300,000 in 12 years. To have doubled, they would need an average of 6% return every single year. I hope these 4 scenarios have really demonstrated to you the power of compounding interest. This is essentially what the rule of 72 is playing out for us, which is that money and time are very closely related. Where you put your money over a period of time really matters. And this is something that I hope you'd walk away today and begin to have those conversations at home with your partner, with your parents even, or even with your children, because the rule of 72 is something that absolutely anyone can get to grips with and apply and start to see their money working better for them. I'd love to know from you in the comments. If you've got a certain level of money right now, begin to ask yourself, if that money is invested, what sort of returns do you need for that money to double? In fact, I'll pose you an example. If you've got an average of a 7% return coming into your money, apply that as an example, which we covered on this particular video. How long would it take for the money you've got right now invested to double? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Drop it in the comments and let's see if we spot a trend. And this should be quite obvious, but please drop it in the comments and let's make this a bit of fun, because I'd love to see as many people as possible using this rule of 72 ordinarily when they think about their investing decisions. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you really enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, because it really helps encourage a ton more people to engage with our videos. If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the notifications bell so you get notified when we publish our videos twice a week on a Tuesday as well as a Thursday. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again on our next one. Take care and bye for now.